Hello, friends, and thank you for tuning in to the Hockey Tank podcast. This is Sunday, October 3rd, in windy Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. My name is Trevor Blackler, and today, as always, I'm joined with the bubbly and brilliant Stephen Hale. What's on the go today, buddy?
Not much, man. I was just writing up some notes, excited to get the podcast on the go. Got some news to talk about, and it's going to be a fun time tonight.
Awesome. I think so, too. Have you been watching much of the preseason?
I have when I'm available. I'm in college like yourself while you're in university. So, life can be a bit busy sometimes. But when I get around, I got a couple hours myself. I'll watch whatever game's on.
For sure,
What about
man.
you?
Yeah, same. I usually just stick to the highlights where I'm a busy man. Is there
Yeah.
any players that's impressing you so far?
Yeah, I got 3 guys wrote down, actually.
Oh,
And
geez, what a coincidence.
want me to talk about them now? Get into it?
Yeah,
'Cause I
let's
got a few things.
sure, man. I want to hear these
Well,
3 players, man. We
well,
can just do something quick.
all right. Well, Lucas Raymond, obviously. I mean, this guy looks like a star in preseason. I don't know how many games he's played. First round draft pick of Detroit a couple of years ago. I mean, he's going to light the league up one day, I think. A couple of great passes. He made a great pass to Larkin the other night in his first game back. And he was making just like solo efforts, man. He just gets the puck and goes, and he's got really good control, and he's got good edge work, and he's very strong on the puck for somebody who's not like very big. He doesn't look big on the ice, but he's a great player, man, and I think he's going to be. I think he might sneak into the prospects, and I kind of feel bad for not having him in my top 5 prospects now because man, he looked really good against NHL level players.
Yeah. During his time with the prospect, those prospect games Detroit had, man, he looked amazing. And his shot too. He went
Yeah,
like roof titty on some goalie. I can't remember what team he was playing, but man, just an absolute snipe. So I'm really
yeah,
excited to watch this guy
yeah, he's good.
in Motown this year.
Yeah. Another guy I got wrote down from New Jersey. I got Dawson Mercer, the Newfie
Let's
man.
go. Let's
He's been
go.
he's
Hometown
been looking
boy.
really good. This guy looks good, man. He looks NHL ready. I kind of figured I was kind of thinking he was going to play in the AHL this year because he just came out of the queue. So usually a lot of players will have a year in the AHL regardless. I mean, he was a mid-round pick in the first round, so I mean, it's no trouble for him to make the team if he shows guys up. I mean, he should make the team. And when I'm watching this guy, I mean, he looks like an NHL level player already. Quick. I mean, he can kill penalties. He's on the power. He was on the first power play the other night in the preseason game. He was on the power play with Heischer, Zaka, Hamilton, and I'm not
Oh
sure
my
who
God.
else. They had
Yeah.
Dawson Mercer put in front of the net, like tipping shots and getting digging for the puck, and that's what he's good at. He's not flashy, but he plays the game the right way, and I think he's gonna have a few games in this year. And if he starts scoring points, I mean, he's gonna carve himself out of spot full time, I believe. Great player.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to make the roster this year, but New Jersey is kind of hurting on wingers, especially
yeah,
deep in their lineup. So I wouldn't be surprised if he got in there for a few games.
yeah. And he's not like the guy who's playing that skill game either. I mean, he's going to work hard, and you need those guys in your lineup to be successful. So I think that's how he's going to make his way into that lineup, playing that type of game. And he's skilled too. Like if you've seen a shootout goal, he's got some soft hands to come with it. So I mean, you got a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. And the third guy who I've been impressed with in preseason is Evgeny Svechnikov in Winnipeg.
Oh, don't be saying that, man. I loved him in Detroit.
So I mean, this guy is
Breaking my heart here, man.
this guy's a really good skater from what I've seen. He's got smooth hands and he's great at passing the puck. I haven't really seen much of a shot from him as of yet, but I watched the Winnipeg preseason game and he stood out to me when he was on the ice, and I was like, this guy never made it in Detroit. I mean, it's kind of weird because Detroit, like, geez, I would have made it in Detroit last couple of years. So I don't know. I just so I mean, he's got a chance in Winnipeg. I think.
I think he was
he's
out with a few
impressing.
injuries too.
Yeah, I think he's
But
impressing in Winnipeg, and I wouldn't be surprised if he. I don't know if he plays full time, but I can see him staying in the NHL level and maybe swapping in it for a few games, and maybe he has a good year and he starts to build himself a top 9 role. You don't know. I mean, he's a first round draft pick, so he could be successful.
yeah,
So,
wouldn't surprise me at all.
yeah, that's my 3 players that stood out to me so far this preseason. There's so many players that come in and out. It's so hard to keep track of
There
everybody.
is,
But
yeah. Once the season gets going and rosters are a bit more,
stable.
consistent, we'll be able
Yeah.
to see who's really putting on a show.
Yeah, but I mean, just to sit down and watch a game for a half an hour, I mean, those were three guys that automatically stood out to me. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's it for that.
Wicked. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
So, folks, today on the pod, we'll be discussing current NHL news, as always, from around the league and the hockey world abroad. Another installment of NHL Newfie for the week, and we'll also have 10 hot takes for the upcoming NHL season. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, let's dig in some news, shall we?
Yeah. What are you gonna?
So
what do you have wrote down first? I want to hear what you got.
all right. So yeah, I'll just throw topics at you, and we'll get your 2 cents on everything, and then we'll throw it back on me, and
All right.
I'll give it my 4 cents.
All right.
So the first thing, this is just weekly news recap, pretty much just the stuff on the NHL website. We can talk about it. So Seattle Kraken might have the new best jerseys in the NHL. Those look sick.
I like them, man. I can see why some people won't like them because it's just an S and it's not necessarily the most creative, but I think they look clean, man, and I don't see anything wrong with them. I don't think they're the best, but I don't think they're the worst. I think it's very interesting use of colors, and I think that's why they're standing out to a lot of people. Yeah, that's
yeah, for sure. I love them. I'm ordering a jersey right now, man. Like, really? I swear to God, I'll have it in before Christmas, and I'll rip it on the pod. I'm probably getting Jordan Everly. It's between him or Brandon Tanev, just so I can do the eyes whenever I wear it. Whenever I wear it, watch his games. Yeah, I know. But yeah. So we had a couple sussies in the league. So Dylan McElrath got suspended for 4 games, and Ridley Gregg got suspended for 2 games, both with high hits. What do you think?
McElrath is just a fucking goon. I mean, he's just trying to carve an NHL career, but he's not going to do anything. He's only carving. He probably can't even pay off his truck now that he got that fine or suspension. I don't know. Did he get a fine? I mean, dude plays in the AHL, so don't come up to the league trying to make an impression and knock some guy's teeth out when you're not fighting him. You're not going to do anything. He's going to stay in the minors now. If I was a GM, I'd trade for him just to bury him.
You know what? When we have McElrath on the podcast next week, I'd say he'll have some choice words for you.
Guy's absolute dirt. I'd trade for him just to bury him.
Oh, jeez.
And
what about Ridley Gregg, the prospect?
Yeah,
man.
I mean,
I didn't see that coming. He scored a nice goal. He scored a beauty goal, little backhand toe drag, top shelf.
Yeah, he's a good prospect.
Yeah, he just got his stick up on Dubois. Hey.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, man. I mean, it looked pretty. He had a lot of time to do a lot of other things and that. So I didn't really. Yeah. I agree with the suspension. Give it to him, and he'll come back and it'll make him not want to do it again because where he's a rookie and everything, he's not going to be wanting to be sitting a lot. He's going to want to be in the lineup. So hopefully he'll learn from it.
That's right. Rangers will retire number 30 for King Henrik Lundqvist on January 28th, 2020. Deserving or not?
Not deserving. The guy's an absolute joke. I'm joking.
Oh, man, never won a cup, man. This guy's a plug.
Easy decision. It's not even a decision. Yeah. It's like they probably never even decided it. I mean, it's just like Lundqvist retired. All right, draw up the jersey. Let's hang this up. So, I mean, It's not even a decision. The guy's one of the most iconic. When I think of the Rangers, I think of Lundqvist, honestly.
So do I.
Maybe that's my what time I grew up in, but they had Messier and everything. But I mean, when I think of Rangers, I think of Lundqvist, so it's an easy choice.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be so happy to see him and his wife and kids there for the.
Yeah, he's gonna be crying, man. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Yes, sad to see him go out like that without even a chance of winning the cup. Just like heart surgery, right? Like, what can you do? His doctor said.
Yeah, it's probably tough, man. He loved to play too. He loves to play, man. That's the thing about Lundqvist. I mean, he really wanted to get back and play, but when you got problems like that, I mean, there's bigger things in hockey. But maybe he gets to a management role with the Rangers or another team, and I think he tries to stay in it somewhat.
I think so too. If not, I think he has a career in like fashion or male modeling. Like the guy's a handsome bastard.
Beauty, yeah.
Austin Matthews practices with the Leafs for the first time since his wrist surgery, and he looks sick. Have you even seen some of the plays that he's making in practice?
Hand-eye is unreal.
It is, yeah. That drill that he was doing, getting pucks flicked to him, knocking him down, and shooting him in front of the net.
Imagine Imagine what he'll score with a good wrist if he won the Rocket with the bad wrist. I mean, he could score 60 in 82 games once in his career. Wouldn't surprise me at
I think
all.
so too. Yeah, for
But
sure.
I don't know if it's this year, but I can see it happening definitely. I mean, he's that good. I know I got the Leafs hat on. I'm acting a little bit biased, but I mean, it's just true, man. Like if you're somebody who believes Matthews can't score 60, you're probably a Montreal fan, and you're probably upset because you lost your third overall pick, Kotkaniemi, for a few dollars. So just shut up and watch the King. Watch the King of
Yeah.
Toronto.
Shut up, Montreal fans. You can have your
I'm
cup
joking,
finals.
man. I like Montreal. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. I'm not doing a very good thing here trying to get new listeners. If you're a Montreal fan, I'm sorry. I just get a little bit upset when people hurt my feelings. So
It's passion, man. It's
anyways,
all right. You're allowed to be
yeah.
passionate here.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
The 2022 Winter Classic between the Wild and Blues was announced. It's going to be played on January 1st of 2022.
Really? I
What do
never
you
knew
think of the
that.
lineup
I never
or
knew that.
the matchup?
I think it's going to be interesting. Did you say Blues?
Blues and Wild, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. Oh, yeah, I knew that because I knew the jerseys they came out with.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't know
love those
why.
jerseys, the old school jerseys. They
Yeah,
look nuts.
yeah, that just left my memory. So sorry about that. But yeah, I
No
do.
worries, man.
I remember Jared Spurgeon had a little like thing on Instagram trying on the jersey and stuff. So yeah, I'll be watching it. So hopefully they win. Kaprizov probably get a hat trick. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great lineup. It's the state of hockey versus,
Yeah,
I
it's gonna
mean,
be a fun game to watch.
not defending Stanley Cup champions, but recent Stanley Cup champions. So
Yeah.
it'll be a real good one. Adidas gets the jersey deal for another year, and they'll debut on October 12th when the regular season gets going. Not really news, just kind of something to report on.
So
I kind of missed the Reebok and CCM jerseys, but Adidas
I like
work
Adidas,
too.
man. I
Yeah.
think Adidas jerseys look really clean. I think that the neckline.
Yeah,
I'm a
they
really
did do a
big
good
fan
job
the
of
neckline.
cleaning up the necklines. They used to just be
Yeah.
like stitched like this, nothing about them, but
Yeah, I actually like them better than Reebok. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but
that's all right. I'm an old school guy. I like old school stuff.
I like
That's how it
Reeboks too.
works.
But I think Adidas is that look, that clean neckline, and just like the jerseys look like they're made better, man. I don't know, but I think that's the way of the future, and I think Adidas is probably going to be making jerseys for NHL for a long time.
Yeah,
I
won't
hope
stop
so.
me from buying them. Tell you
No,
that.
definitely not.
Steven, some disappointing news out of New Jersey. Goalie Mckenzie Blackwood is undecided on the COVID-19 vaccine, which means he
Oh,
won't be able
really?
to travel to Canada, just like how we were talking about Tyler Bertuzzi last podcast.
Yeah, well, this is a bit of a with Detroit's situation with Bertuzzi. It's not so dire as losing your number one goalie. So
Yeah,
they're obviously probably concerned, and management is probably concerned about that. But I mean, you can do whatever you want. It's freedom in the country. You choose if you want to be vaccinated or not. So they'll work around it. I'm sure if he really, really wants to play every game, I mean, he'll get over that and he'll get vaccinated if that's what he needs to do. But I mean,
yeah,
in the end, it's his choice. So not much you can do about it.
for sure. Some sad news out of Detroit. Jakub Vrana is out at least 4 months with a shoulder injury.
Yeah,
And I got
that
here in
sucks.
brackets, fuck, because that's brutal for Detroit's top six.
Vrana could have broke out like insane this year. He could have
Big
been
time.
a big point scorer. And I feel like if there was a year for him to break out, because with the rookies coming along, you know, they're not going to be so prominent as they will be. So this is kind of that 1 year where you could establish yourself and stay in that top six for a long time. And 4 months is a lot of time to miss. And then you get to recover, and then you got to get into the groove of it. And it's probably going to be too late to get into to be able to keep up with everybody. So I think he's probably going to have a bad year with this news, because it's so hard to keep up with people after having an injury like that.
Yeah, you take your shoulder out, that means you can't practice like taking shots, stick handling is good passing. You can still work out lower body, but trying to get into that mid-season groove when everyone's already been playing for 4 months, it's hard to do.
Yeah.
So
fortunately, I think he's probably going to have a bad year.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was next year.
Yeah.
I've learned how to say that pretty good.
Yeah. Jonathan Tays plays first game in more than 1 year. He missed last season with chronic immune response syndrome, which was pretty bad for the hockey world just because I grew up watching Tays and so did everyone else. So it was pretty rough to see him miss a full year of hockey, but he looks back and he put up a couple points already in the preseason. So he's looking like he didn't miss a step. So
Hasn't missed a
Chicago might
beat,
get
man.
that extra little boost.
Hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he's probably going to come in and have. I don't know if he's going to get a lot of points like that, like be probably 40, 50 points, and he's going to be a good two-way center. So, and he's a leader. So, I mean, I think they'll be all right, and I think they're happy to have him back. Anyways,
I would say, yeah, great leader. Canadian teams over this past week wore orange jerseys for National Day of Truth and Reconciliation for the Indigenous population. They look pretty good too, and it's good to draw some awareness to that because there's a lot of Indigenous players. Well, not a lot, but a nice few Indigenous players in the NHL. So
yeah,
I'm sure that day meant a lot to them.
yeah. I played with some Indigenous people too, so I've played with some good hockey players that were Indigenous too. So it was
Yeah,
pretty cool. Pretty cool. I watched what game was that I was watching the other night? I think might have been the Leafs and Ottawa, and they had a little like song and the like Indigenous song at the start of it, and they did like instead of doing a national anthem with two languages, they had their language as well. So they did it with three languages. That was pretty cool.
yeah. I remember seeing that last year in the playoffs when all the stuff about residential schools started to come out, and they had the Winnipeg and Edmonton series.
Yeah, it's always great to see stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, on a more somber tone, UHL suspends Andre Deniskin for 3 games, plus 10 games for making a racist gesture at John Spearmreck. Sorry if I butchered that name.
Jalen, I think.
Jalen? Oh, it is
I
too.
think
Yeah,
so.
yeah. But get this, it's 3 plus 10, so it's 13 games, but he can avoid the additional 10 games if he
By
pays
paying,
the US equivalent of $1,880.
absolute
Isn't that a
joke.
fucking
He,
joke?
he should never play another professional game of hockey again.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Like, I don't
It's
know.
a sin, man. I hope he gets signed. I heard rumors of him getting signed in the AHL. I hope he comes over into a better environment because he shouldn't have to deal with that. And
Yeah, for
I hope the
sure.
guy never plays whatever his name is, Deniskin or whatever the
Andre
fuck his name is.
Deniskin.
Yeah, I hope he never plays another pro game again. So that's
Yeah,
my
I know.
thoughts on him.
If he can't act more mature than that, like that's what fucking kids do on the playground when they don't know any better. Like fucking, I don't know, like that has no room in the game anymore. Like if it ever
His
did, but
his
like it's
excuse was I believe I seen a quote where his excuse was emotions in the game. I don't actually mean that. It's just emotions during a game. But if you have those type of emotions during a game, you obviously have those type of emotions when you're not playing the game.
exactly.
So
Yeah, I know. For that just to come out in the spur of a moment, just like a run of the mill, just hockey scrum, or just like in game, like I don't know how you can have a player on that like your team. Like I hope the team does suspend him for longer. I hope he gets
I hope he never plays another
unpaid
pro game
leave.
again, man. I mean, he should be kicked out of the league. I mean, not now. I mean, you should have never done that, but especially after all the awareness that's been brought to that situation, it should never be. So I hope he never plays another pro game because
Yeah,
it's
you
just
see Wayne Simmons' reaction to it?
yeah. I mean,
Here's
he said he doesn't even want to put his kids in hockey and stuff. I
yeah,
heard. Did you hear that quote? So you don't want to hear that. So it's a sin, and
no,
I think he should be taken away with.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, Wayne Train said like there's got to be harsher penalties. Like if you're gonna give this guy only 3 games for that, and then he can pay his way out of getting out of 10 more games
It's a
suspension.
joke. It's a
Yes,
joke,
man, it
man.
is. It's a fucking joke.
But
Like
the
there's got
Russians
to be
don't care, man. They never care about anything, so they're just gonna move on, and it sucks because there could be a lot of American talent, Canadian talent go over there, and that is of African American, and just be bullied like that. It's not fair, and it should never be. So
yeah,
there's not much more you can say. It just shouldn't happen. So they need to get their shit together in the UHL.
yeah, for sure. That's unacceptable. I can't imagine if that happened over here. If that happened over here, I can't imagine that outbreak that would come out of it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been to Europe, so I don't know the whole climate over there around like racial justice and stuff like that. But that's unacceptable for sure.
Yeah, it's you can't really say much more than it should never happen, and he should never play another game of hockey again because there should be way larger penalties than what he faced, and it's not really fair to the Jalen Schmerich, I think his name is. So
Yeah,
I hope he gets signed in the NHL, and I hope he comes over and has a good year. That'd be nice to see.
yeah.
So
I wish nothing but best for that guy. He don't deserve that, man. Trying to
no,
play the game he loves, man. Going through that, it's a
yeah,
fucking sin. Anyway, on some brighter news out of Toronto.
yeah.
Sheldon Keefe, the head coach, agrees to a 2-year extension. Any thoughts on this one?
I mean, he's played 2 years as a coach now. He got his first full training camp this year. You can look at it and say, well, he hasn't had success in the playoffs, but anybody who there's so many more teams that are outside of the playoffs with a lot worse coaching. And I mean, he's just a great coach. I think he's a great coach, and he puts the team in a position to win every night. Just because they haven't had playoff success doesn't mean he shouldn't be. They should fire him and get rid of him. I think people just overreact. I think he's a really good coach, and
He is a great coach. Have you ever looked at his junior numbers?
No, but
Man,
I
don't
know he
quote
was
me on
somewhat
this.
of a
I
goon.
think he was on Sault Ste. Marie in the OHL, and I think he had like over 100 more wins than losses or something like that. Like, it's a crazy number. His junior stats are unreal for a coach, and it makes like
He won the
it was
Calder
Sault
Cup
Ste.
too.
It was Sault Ste. Marie because
Yeah,
Dubas used
Dubas
to
is from
coach
there.
or GM there.
They were together
Um,
in the OHL in the Sioux, and then they were together in AHL in Toronto, and
Yeah.
they won at that level too because they got a Calder Cup now. They're together in the NHL and they're trying to win the Stanley Cup.
I think they're
So
going to do
it's
it. I think
cool.
he's the coach. I think he's the coach to do
If
it.
they win the cup, man, I mean, we can sit here and talk about Toronto and laugh about them losing in the first round, but they're close, man. I think if this team gets out of the first round, I think you could
Yeah.
see some major like movement and to winning.
That's why
So,
I think that the 2 years isn't just a random number. I think Dubas has given him a year to make it out of the first round, maybe lose in the second or third round, but just get that monkey off their back.
if they
And
can
then
get out of the
he's
first
given him.
round, he gets long-term deal. If
No,
he
he
get out of the
doesn't.
first round,
That's the second year of this contract is where he has to win the cup. And if the cup isn't won in 2 years, I think, then you start moving pieces like Keefe. You got to bring in another
yeah.
coach.
Well,
You
then
got
you
to
got to
start
move some of
moving
the core.
players. Yeah.
I think you got to wait, man. I believe in patience because I mean, look at St. Louis Blues. They were fucking on the edge of getting in. They were in the playoffs every year and they could never get anywhere. But when they got somewhere, they won. So I think you got to have patience. But it's kind of hard to have patience when you're a general manager too.
Yeah, you're right. Even Dubas's job may be at stake by the the owners. They might
Shanahan
look
and
at
stuff.
but the people that own the team might just
Yeah.
say, I don't think this Dubas kid is really getting the job done. It's been how long has he been there? 6 years?
No, he's been there 6 years, but he hasn't been the GM. I think he's been the GM for 3 years, 4 years.
Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're right. So he might be there a nice while yet. But anyway, I think that's a great signing for Keefe. I think he's
a great coach.
yeah.
And if he
I
does
think he
end up
is
getting
too.
fired from Toronto in the future because they don't win the cup, which I probably don't agree with again, but I think he's got another job lined up somewhere else because he's a
Oh
really good
yeah,
coach.
for sure. Yeah. Duncan Keith skates with the Oilers for the first time. Isn't that weird?
It's really weird, actually.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if
can't
I'd like
imagine
it.
watching him this season. I just can't wait for him to be playing on the line with well, if he even gets any time with McDavid and Draisaitl. I want to because that's not like Chicago. I'd never sit down and watch a Chicago game, but I'd definitely catch like a late Oilers game or something, just them being a Canadian team and all that.
I think he adds a lot to the room, man, because he's been there and he's won it a lot. So I think that you can't measure that in statistics what he probably brings. So
Yeah.
I think
No,
he's a
you're
really
right.
good addition.
Those intangibles you can't put on a scoreboard. So
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. So some news out of Vancouver. Brock Besser expected to miss some time with an undisclosed injury. So when I mean sometime, I think that's just the first week of the regular season. So
Is
he
that
should be back
news?
in order.
Because this guy's always injured, unfortunately.
Jeez. Yeah, I think so. He hasn't had a really good season since like his rookie year,
Yeah, he's got a great
where he
shot though.
actually
I think
popped
he's got.
off.
I think he's got like top 10 shot in NHL though.
Yeah,
He
he does.
does.
He has an unreal shot.
Yeah, so I think he's going to get it together. And maybe when he hits his prime, 25, 26, 27 years old, he has like a great year, like 40, 50 goals a year.
Yeah,
I think so.
probably. I could see that for sure.
Hmm.
This one sucks. Nick Backstrom, a great friend of the podcast. He could be out to start the regular season. Same thing as Brock Besser.
Yeah.
It's week to week or even day to day, but still, I hate to see Nick Backstrom
Yeah.
missing any time at all.
Well, Evgeny Kuznetsov, man, he's got to roll with it now because, well, I guess they got Larry Zeller, second line center now, but I mean, he's
Yeah,
better on your third line. So I don't think they're going to take too big of a hit, though, because it's Washington and they always end up being all right when it's all said and done
yeah,
somehow.
yeah, for sure. So, so two big question marks got solved over the week. Quinn
Oh,
Hughes signs a
yeah.
6-year contract at 7.85 million annual average value, and his buddy and PP uh, assistant or whatever, Elias Pettersson signs a 3-year contract at 7.85 average annual value. What do you think?
I think those are great contracts.
I think those are excellent contracts. I
I'm
think
actually
that
surprised.
I can't believe Pettersson. Well, I knew he wasn't signing long term, like 8 years, but I thought they were definitely going to get him for 5.
Yeah, that's the worst thing about the Pedersen deal would be the term. But I mean, to have a guy who could score 90, 100 points in a season, he's that talented, man.
Yeah, he is. He's
To have him for
unbelievably
under $8
talented.
million for 3 years, I think is an absolute steal. And these are probably the years now where they might be able to add a piece at the deadline to make a run because they got that extra bit of money.
Well, they already
So
got. I don't know what you add except for more depth, just
just a
on the forward core, because they
forward,
got
yeah.
OEL and they got great defensemen.
Yeah,
But
I think you just add whatever's available at the deadline. Maybe you send off a first round pick because I mean they're in a weird spot because they're not rebuilding and they missed the playoffs last year, so they kind of got to get in, or
yeah,
else Jim Benning's gone. I think he's probably gone
he,
anyways eventually
he got rid
because
of a lot of bad contracts though over the
yeah, well
offseason.
Arizona is just like the Louis Erickson's having a really good preseason by the way. I don't
Oh
know if
man,
you've
he's got
noticed.
2 goals already.
Yeah, so I mean, I think Arizona might end up winning that trade when it's all said and done.
I think
They
they
might
might
have a
win the
30-goal
cup.
scorer. Yeah, they might have a 30-goal scorer in Louis Erickson.
Bringing back his Dallas days.
Yeah.
I got to apologize to the listeners at home. That's a 3 for Elias Pettersson. He signed a 3-year contract at 7.35, not 8.5.
Oh yeah.
I got some chicken
You fucked
scratches
that.
here. So yeah,
Oh,
so
sorry,
under
buddy.
7.5. So even better of a deal.
Amazing deals, man.
Hmm I think that Quinn Hughes one could turn sour just because of his bad offense or defensive play.
Yeah,
But
but
a lot of people,
anybody who scores that many points, that's so valuable to have a defenseman like that. So
yeah, it is. A lot of people online, well, probably not a lot, but a couple I seen were saying that they'd rather have Quinn Hughes at his contract than Cale Makar at his, because it's a difference of almost $2 million a year.
yeah,
But I don't agree with that. I'd rather have Cale, I think.
Cal McCarr is he's going to be the best defenseman in the league. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. He
Yeah.
certainly is.
Once Hedman starts declining, I think Cale Makar takes over that top spot for sure.
Oh yeah.
This is
Definitely.
a great little piece of news now, and I loved reading it. Robin Lehner exposes the NHL and the NHLPA on Twitter. He outs the medical staff of the Sabres, bad employment practices by various teams, and a lot more other shady business that goes on behind closed doors in the NHL. What do you think
Yeah.
here?
I think he should have his own podcast.
Yeah, he probably should, man.
I think Vegas is probably getting a bit frustrated because they just want him to play hockey.
Yeah,
I
that's kind of like a PK Subban situation when he's almost not trying to make himself bigger than the team, but that's kind of how it looks.
Yeah, he likes to be on the in the news reports frequently. I think that's why he does it. But I'd like to have him on the Hockey Tank podcast because I feel like we blow the fuck up.
Yeah, Robin, if you're listening, buddy, you're welcome anytime. Slide in our DMs, man.
Yes, man. Great goalie.
Yeah, I think Vegas might be getting fed up too, and the fans, because on one hand you're saying just play hockey, you're not getting paid to be a TSN insider,
Yeah.
and then on the other hand, it is social justice. Like nobody else has come out yet and been strong enough to out the NHL's
He
bad
doesn't care,
practices.
man. That's a cool thing about him, though. He will literally say whatever he wants, and he doesn't give a fuck what you think.
Yeah, I think ultimately that could hurt him or help him, and it could go either way in any of those extremes. So
yeah, definitely.
I mean, hopefully, I don't know. The NHLPA says, Robin, stay in line, like you're a goalie, or not hopefully, but like I think that's what will happen, and
that's
he
probably
might
the
get
outcome.
suspended for saying something because remember in New York, the head coach got fined a lot of money too for discussing for calling out the NHLPA after the Tom Wilson incident.
Yeah, they don't really like to be talked down on. So if you got anything to say,
so I think
you kind of got to keep it to yourself.
I think he will get fined or suspended because you can't be bad mouthing the league that you play in. Really, that's kind of biting the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, because I mean he's making the money that they're giving him. So I mean, there's two ways to look at it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I got not news, but cool things that I've seen online that I'm going to share with you. So Bob Mckenzie released his prospect rankings for the 2022 draft.
I seen that. I watched that today.
Yeah, I love it, man. So he released 16, but I'm just going to go over 10 to keep it brief. So, and by the way, I can't pronounce half these guys' names, so bear with me, please.
Yeah.
So first overall, Shane Wright, forward, out of Kingston Frontenacs.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sick. Number 2, Jesus Christ, Ivan Miroshnichenko.
Yeah, he's a Russian winger.
Miroshnichenko.
Miroshnichenko.
Yeah, that's gonna take me a while. I can't wait until he just comes over into the NHL and we can just call him Miro because that's fucked. It's a long ass name. Brad Lambert at 3. So the Finnish kid that should be Canadian. He should be Canadian or US, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I think his parents live in Finland now, though. I think
his dad played for America or was from America. Played
married a
hockey
Finnish woman,
and then went over there for hockey and married someone. So Brad unfortunately is Finnish. We'd love to have him over here in Canada, but
I think
he's
dropped
number 3.
Last year. Everybody was saying he was number 2. So
yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm not.
It could change. It's only early.
I'm just gonna call him Miro. He put on a show like last year when all the junior leagues over here were shut down. Yeah. That was a big name last year.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. At number 4, Giuraj Slavkovsky.
He's a Czech, right? Or Slovakian?
It sounds like that, yeah. He's a forward. That's all I know. That's all I have.
He's really good, man. I watched him. I think he played the World Juniors this year, and he stood out for the team he's on. I don't know if it's Czech or Slovaks now, but I mean, whatever team he was on, he stood out for. And he's like 6'3", really good winger, kind of like Mikko Rantanen style, almost like really.
I love
really
players
tough.
like that.
Yeah, hard shot, tough player to play against.
Wicked. Connor Geekie at number 5. Is he related to the Geekie in the NHL?
Morgan Geekie's brother. Yeah.
Awesome. Love to see it.
And he plays in WHL, I think, right, with the Winnipeg.
He plays with I think they're Winnipeg Ice.
Ice, yeah, that's who he plays for.
Yeah, and there's another player that we'll get to later also on the Winnipeg Ice. So at number 6 we have Logan Cooley, a forward. I believe he's American, isn't he?
Yeah, he plays for the US team.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him.
Yeah, me neither. Well, it's a long way from the draft. We got
we'll figure that out before the draft runs around.
For sure. So the second Winnipeg Ice player here is forward Matt Savoy. He dropped off a lot. I remember a lot of people saying he was going to be top 3, and he's down at 7 now.
He's like a pesky player. He's got the Brad Marchand style to him. He's 5'9". I think he's a little bit smaller, and he's kind of a bit of an asshole to play against. So I think that's going to make him stay where he's to, because those players who are competitive like that are hard to find now.
For sure.
Not competitive, but got a bit of
hard-nosed.
Yeah.
Danil Yurov a forward out of Russia, Czech, maybe somewhere like that.
I don't know where he's from now. I don't know much about this guy either. I got to do some research on this draft. I still got all the people from last draft in my head, so every year I get to clear that out and figure out the new names.
Yeah, same. I got to do some spring cleaning for sure in my brain. Joachim Kemel, another forward. So the top 10 is all forwards. So I should probably.
Yeah, they got a defenseman at 11, right? And he's a European, I think.
Oh man, never mind. They got a defenseman at 10. At number 10, David Giuraj.
Yeah, he's either Czech or Slovak too. I don't know.
There's not a lot of Canadians in this top 16.
No, and there's not a lot of defensemen either.
No, there's
3, right?
3. There's 3 defensemen. The rest are forwards. No goaltenders like last year. We had, and the year before, that we had Spencer Knight, Askarov, and we had
Wallstedt.
And Wallstedt.
Well, we had Casa actually, because Casa went before. So
yeah, but Wallstedt was projected at like 7 or 9. Yeah.
So we don't have.
So there's Bob McKenzie's top 10. So that's kind of cool. I thought this was cool. So in the first round of last year's draft, there was only, I believe, 15 people signed to entry-level contracts. I'll go over to them now. Mason McTavish signed a 3-year contract. So that means Beniers and Owen Powers didn't sign contracts.
Yeah, well, they're in Michigan, so they're not
exactly
going to sign yet.
Yeah. So McTavish signed a 3-year ELC, but he's expected to play in Peterborough of the OHL. Eklund signed a 3-year ELC in San Jose, but is expected to play for Djurgården in the SHL. Brent Clark, 3-year ELC. He's playing for Barrie in OHL. Dylan Gunther, he looks sick. He's scored some nice goals already in preseason.
He's gone back though. I think he's already released.
Yeah, he's expected to play in Edmonton with the WHL. Cole Sillinger from Ottawa signed a 3-year ELC too. But he's playing in Medicine Hat at the WHL.
Cole Sillinger, I think he went to Columbus.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm thinking about the other NHLers. Oh man, I got all these names
Dude,
mixed up.
Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, man.
There's so many fucking names.
Yeah, for sure. And then Kosa signed a 3-year ELC with Detroit.
That's cool. He's playing in Edmonton, right?
Yeah, but he's in Edmonton playing in WHL. But he looked all right in the prospect games.
Give him a few years, man. Just give him a few years as a goalie.
Yep. I'm going down the list now, just looking for noticeables. So Fabian Lysell signed a 3-year ELC with Boston, but he's playing for Vancouver in the WHL.
Yeah, he's not going back to Sweden.
Yeah, no, he's playing.
Yeah, he's not going back to Sweden, which is a little bit interesting.
Yeah, no, he's playing in WHL. So yeah, get him adjusted to North American ice.
Yeah.
And then Carson Lambeau signed 3 years with Minnesota, but he's also playing with Winnipeg in the WHL.
Winnipeg is going to be a monster fucking powerhouse this year.
Yeah, it seems like it with those Matt Savoy, Connor Geeky, and Carson Lambeau.
I think they got another couple good players too, so
probably do look out for those.
Yeah.
And I thought this one was weird. So one of the last picks in the first round this year, Allen, he was drafted by Chicago as a defenseman. He was supposed to go like 50th or 60th overall, and Chicago took him. But apparently they like him because he signed a 3-year ELC with Chicago.
They also signed Colton Dock, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
They just randomly signed a bunch of guys they draft. I don't even think they care where they draft them.
No, and it's only an ELC, so they can play wherever, right?
It's not a big deal. Yeah.
No. So yeah, I found this a cool tidbit. So like usually we have the first round pick always plays in the NHL, or like the second or third usually play in the NHL nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So with Owen Powers returning to Michigan, this will be the first year we don't have a first overall pick playing since Eric Johnson in 2006.
That's a long time, really.
It is. Wow. Yeah.
I never realized that.
I had to do some digging. Yeah.
I would be more hesitant if I was a GM to play a first overall pick unless he's a Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid type player. I feel like I'd be the type of GM to let him play a year in the juniors.
Well, the thing is, usually with teams that are picking first overall, you have a bit of a week, group, so those players can come in and fit into the lineup. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
but
But
where
see, the thing is
Owen
too with
Powers
that,
could play,
right?
but he chose to go back to Michigan. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't blame them. Michigan's like NHL level team, so
yeah, they got a great team there.
we could sit here all night and talk about Michigan, but we'll move on
Yeah,
because they got a great team.
yep. So if all the prospects I just mentioned as well don't play, the ones that start in ELC, it'll be the first year since the draft began in, I think, 1968 that a first round player didn't play immediately after being drafted.
Wow.
So, but I mean, some player will come in and play some games. So
I would say there would be 2 or 3 games there by somebody.
yeah, exactly. So that stat probably won't come to fruition, but if it does, you heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Hockey Tank Podcast, breaking news.
Yeah. So now to finish off the news, I'll just go over some notable free agents with you guys.
Right. I got a few things too after that I want to mention.
Oh, you go ahead then.
Yeah, I'll go ahead. All right,
yeah.
sure. I seen something that I really didn't like, and I think it kind of sucks. Arizona's relaxing their dress code. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but I like to see guys come in socks. It just like exemplifies hockey, right? Guy coming in tux.
Yeah, I think
It's just clean.
They look good coming in, and I think the only reason why, because I'm the same way. Like I want guys coming in on suits, right? Looking professional, looking like they're
definitely.
Here for business, right? I don't want guys walking in with sweats. But the reason why we're saying that, and I thought about this too, was because we've never really done that. These guys have been wearing suits the game since they were 15 years old.
I would love that, man. I don't think
I would
ever want
too,
to stop.
right?
And I feel like a lot of players love that. And I think it's just a culture thing in hockey. I think Arizona got this big ass whiteboard in their fucking GM room. They're like, all right, what else can we fuck up? We fucked this up. Ekman Larson's gone. We absolutely fucked him up. We don't have any fans. We actually don't have a building next year, so we kind of fucked that up. Oh, this dress code, yeah, we're gonna fuck that up now. So I think that's what they're ripping
apart hockey culture one stitch at a time, man.
Just go to Houston or something, man. Jesus Christ, get over with. Anyways, I just think that's bad for the game, man. I'm sound old fashioned, I guess, when it comes to that. But I just like to see guys walking with a tux, man, ready for a hockey game. There's nothing else better.
It looks clean for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else on your list there?
Oh shit, sorry about that. I thought you were
No worries, man.
To bring up the recurring topic, I've seen some news that it could take up to the trade deadline for Jack Eichel to go anywhere. So most likely he's going to miss this full season and miss the Olympics, and be ready to go next season, which is a crime because he's got so much talent. Just to leave him sitting there, I mean, it sucks. I don't know what the fuck Kevin Adams is doing again, but I don't know. I don't have anything else to say on it because I mean we've talked about it so much, and I feel like everybody else who reports on stuff too, TSN. I mean, anybody who reports on hockey is just sick of talking about it.
Well, the latest TSN insider, Robin Lehner, had some choice words for it. He said that the medical staff in Buffalo actually was one of the reasons that he fucked up his ankle so bad, and not unfair, but just bad practices on his ankle, just doing surgery that he wasn't comfortable with and just saying, well, you're signed by us. And when he didn't have a voice, right, he was going through a lot of mental struggles too. So he didn't probably feel like he was in the place to say anything back to Buffalo's medical staff, but he was very vocal about them having very shady medical practices in Buffalo.
Yeah, I don't know what they do in Buffalo. Kind of like Arizona. Just don't know what they. I don't know if they know how to run a fucking hockey team, but
I don't think they do.
No.
I don't think
move
so.
On. Hire your hockey tank co-host to run Arizona and Buffalo, and I mean they'd be holding the cup in 3 or 4 years.
Exactly, man.
Keep us in mind. Next piece of news: Team Canada GM for the Olympics, Doug Armstrong, comes out and says McDavid, Crosby, and Pietrangelo are locked for Team Canada.
I've seen that too. I'm hyped. Pietrangelo was a bit of a kind of out of the blue, just because I wouldn't have thought of him right off the start as my lock.
Doug Armstrong was his GM for a while, though. Knows how good he plays. Knows how he plays the game. So
that's true. Yeah, actually, it shouldn't have come as a surprise. I never even thought of that.
Yeah. So there's not much I can ask you for your thoughts on that because it's McDavid, Crosby, and Pietrangelo. They're gonna make the fucking team anyways. It's
Exactly.
no surprise, but I just figured I'd mention it.
Do you think they're going to be captains? Crosby is the captain and two alternates, and Pietrangelo and McDavid.
Could go that way, or they could go with an older guy like Bergeron instead of McDavid.
I
Depends
think
what they
they will.
want.
I think they will go the old route.
Yeah, I think they do too. Because it's kind of like everybody has their time to be you'll get your time, McDavid, when you're fucking 30 years old. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird though to see McDavid be on that. It's going to be weird to see him on the ice with
it's gonna
a
be
letter
so
on his
fun, man, to
jersey.
watch the Olympics. It's gonna be
I can't
so
wait.
fun.
I
think we
cannot
should.
wait.
I think we should do like a little live stream, like not like show the game or hear the game, but maybe if there's a gold medal game, we could chill out on here and have a hockey tank live stream, drink a few.
Well, let's
beers
take
or
it to the
something.
fans. Fans,
Yeah.
DM us if you don't want us to do it, and if you do want us to do it, don't say anything to us on Instagram.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
All of our 30 followers are going right to the DMs now.
Yeah. To move on, Jake Gensel test positive for COVID. He's going to miss
Go on.
a couple of weeks, I guess. So
That Pittsburgh team is fucked. Oh my
Crosby,
god.
Malkin,
They got
Gensel.
Crosby, Malkin, and Gensel. Man, Carter is gonna have to. I don't know, man. He's gonna have to start doing roids or something. He's gonna have to get juice to carry that team.
The poor guy's just trying to retire and like.
Oh my god, the guy was like, "Oh, I want to go to Pittsburgh because they got all these good pieces."
Yeah, so I can retire easy.
Letang's gonna probably come out and say he's injured now to once too. He's always injured, man.
Yeah. I don't know. Hextall's gonna have to find somebody else better than Sam Lafferty to man the first line center position.
Oh my god.
But I mean, they'll be back eventually, and Pittsburgh always finds a way, kind of like Washington. So
yeah,
don't look too far into it.
I hope so. I got him winning the fucking division.
Yeah.
What a bad call.
Oh my. Jake Evans re-signs with the Canadiens for 3 years at 1.7 mil AAV.
Nice, great deal.
Great deal, man. He's a good bottom six forward, so that's good value. I think there's not much you can say on it. Probably at 10 goals, 10, 15 assists, 20, 30 points, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
I put him at a bit less, but just killing penalties and
20 points, probably. 20 points.
Yeah, he's a quick bugger, man. He flies around there.
Yeah, he's good. That's a good signing. Josh Archibald is on long-term injured reserve because he, after he had COVID-19, he developed a heart condition.
Oh,
so he's not able to play hockey. So that sucks for him. I've seen him taking a bit of heat where he wasn't vaccinated and people were kind of shitting on him. But
yeah,
that's the reason, because I guess he has a heart condition now. So I feel like that's going to hurt his career for a while, and hopefully he gets to play again someday.
Yeah, I hope that's not like a lung fist type injury, like not injury, but kind of condition, man.
Yeah, let's hope not. I found him kind of annoying to play against when I was watching them play the Leafs. So I don't wish a heart condition on anybody, but I'm happy he's not gonna. I'm happy he's not nailing Matthews into the boards. So
yeah,
put it that way. But I mean, it sucks. I hope he recovers and plays again, and the Leafs on him. I hope the Leafs on him.
I hope so too. I like watching him play. He's a nice little grinder type.
Yeah. And my last piece of news is Philip Broberg got cut from Oilers camp today, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I think he was a 10th overall pick a couple years ago. I felt like this was the year he's probably going to make a name for himself.
I think he was 8th.
Yeah, he was a high pick, and he never made it. So I don't know. I guess Chris Russell's got something we don't know about. I don't know. All he does is score on his own net as far as I'm concerned. But I guess Philip Broberg's not so good as Chris Russell. So it's news to me.
When my brother was out in Alberta, he put up drywall in Chris Russell's garage.
Did he?
Yeah, I swear to God, man.
Wow. God.
So maybe Chris Russell got some pointers from my brother and impressed the training. In training
keep him in the lineup.
Yeah. If my brother probably extended Chris Russell's career by another 5 years, honestly.
Yeah.
Giving him pointers in the garage. They were probably shooting pucks in the garage or something. He was like, no, hold your stick this way, man.
Yeah. Don't shoot on your net. Don't shoot behind you. Shoot this way. Remember he scored his on net?
Exactly. And has he scored an empty on himself since my brother put up drywall? I don't think so.
Probably not. So, I mean, something's working. Something's on the go there. Something suspicious. So Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. Broberg's not a big player yet, so he'd have to be an elite defenseman to make it at his size. I'd say it takes another year, goes back to the SHL, puts on a bit of weight, gets more experience, and comes in
I
next
think he's
year.
playing in the AHL actually.
Yeah, on the Condors.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's a good spot for him to get him
He could get
Well, he
called
might
up,
be
man.
up later in the
He'll
season.
be called up. Yeah. So that's it for my news, and I guess that's it for your news, is it? Or do you have a few?
Yeah,
more
I just
things?
had some notable free agents.
All right.
Tuukka Rask is a free agent. I don't think he's going to sign at this point.
No, I feel like his career is probably over.
Yeah. Sammy Vatanen in Dallas. They got a lot of good defensemen.
Yeah,
so
they don't need him.
Yeah.
They got to worry about those 6 goalies. They got signed 6 NHL goalies. They got to worry about that first.
They got a lot of defensemen in Dallas, so they definitely don't need him. And I'd say Sammy's holding out for a bit of money. So I'd say he will move on to somewhere else.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Kyler Yamamoto in Edmonton is not signed yet.
Is he not? I thought he signed the other day.
Oh, Jesus. I hope not, just for the sake of this list.
You wrote down this news a few days ago. He signed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he signed.
Okay.
Man.
Well,
I don't want to bring you bad news or make you look bad, but I think he signed, man.
Hey, man, no worries, man. This is
we just don't want to give out misinformation, right?
Exactly. This is an informative podcast. If I'm happy you're on the ball, if I'm not.
Yeah, people are going to be listening to this saying, I was listening to the Hockey Tank podcast, man. I just seen that Brent Burns got traded to Calgary yesterday. Danny Gaudreau. Pretty cool stuff. It's like, don't listen to them Hockey Tank boys. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, once every podcast, I'm going to start throwing out a trade rumor like
something
that.
Fucked, yeah.
Crosby just got traded for McKinnon. What the fuck?
That'd be the weirdest trade in history.
Yeah. Colorado looking for more experience. Takes Crosby. Shaves 10 years after fucking rebuild. Or adds 10 years on.
Yeah. Oh, my. Anyways, that's it for my news.
Nikita Gusev isn't signed in Florida. Would you consider that a notable free agent? I thought he was all right in New Jersey.
He's a PTO in Toronto, man.
Holy fuck. What is wrong with me?
Dude, where'd you get your news at Cracker Jack?
I got it at NHL.com. The crowd over there don't have a fucking clue.
Trevor's he's breaking signings here tonight. Gusev, dude's been in a Leaf jersey for 2 weeks.
Oh, man. Well, fuck this list. All right, I don't think I got this one wrong. I think I would have heard
before it's too late.
No, I'm going to keep going. Brady Tkachuk in Ottawa. I'm pretty sure hasn't signed yet. He's still waiting for his.
I don't think.
All right, good stuff.
That's good news.
I'm pretty sure he's still waiting for his 8x8, I think.
Yeah, with bonuses and stuff like that.
Yeah. He
wants a big payday, and he deserves it because he's probably the next captain. So
for sure. I feel like I should stop, but I'm going to keep going. Mark Jankowski in Pittsburgh. He's a good center.
He's not in Pittsburgh, man.
Where the fuck is he to?
He's in New Jersey, man.
Man, holy shit. NHL.com got to get their shit together. That
was last offseason. You're talking about last.
Oh, man. This was like 3 days ago, man.
I'll look it up for you right now.
This was this is like 3 days ago I made this list.
Look, I'll type it up now. Mark Jankowski signs PTO. The New Jersey Devils signed Jimmy Vesey, Mark Jankowski, and Tyler Witherspoon to professional tryout contracts on September 22nd.
Jesus Christ. All right.
You're digging yourself a bigger hole.
I'm going to keep going.
Okay, I'll let you know.
I'm going to keep going. Has Kiefer Bellows got a contract in New York and on the island yet? He's a restricted free agent coming off his 3-year ELC. I don't think he's signed yet.
I think you got that one right.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know if he's signed or not, but I feel like he probably wouldn't get a big prominent role with that Islanders group anyways, because
not even. I think he's a good scorer. I think he could fit in somewhere.
Lou Lamoriello just loves Leo Komarov.
Dude, Lou loves Kiefer Bellows because he doesn't have any facial hair, man. That's the only reason he's still here.
Yeah, if he had a bit of facial hair, he'd be gone.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, keep going.
Patrick Marleau, I don't think is signed with Sharks yet.
You're right. He never signed yet.
All right, thank God.
No, I hopefully
So
he
I think the
signs.
Sharks are the only ones that sign him at this point.
I can see that. I'd like to see him have a run at a cup. So I
Yeah,
hope
like you said, a good spot for him might be
Tampa Bay.
Tampa too.
Yeah, that would look good, man. Him and Corey
Speaking of
Perry.
Tampa Bay, they still haven't signed Marian Gaborik.
What? Marian Gaborik?
Marian Gaborik is a free agent there, according to NHL.com. I figured I'd throw that one in.
Wait, what the fuck? Isn't he like 80 now?
Yeah, he come over with the Callahan trade. I think just he's long-term injury reserve.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think Marian Gaborik's going to be playing any more hockey in his life, so I don't think they got to worry about that contract.
Isn't that the guy who got shingles, or is that Marian Hossa?
That's Marian Hossa.
Yeah, he still hasn't signed with Arizona, so still waiting on.
No, I don't think he's going to sign either, man. You're
still
breaking
waiting on those contracts.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for tuning in to Hockey Tank. Breaking news here tonight. We got Nikita Gusev going to Florida, and we got
Mark Jankowski in Pittsburgh, and we got Kyler Yamamoto still unsigned in Edmonton. So stay tuned to hear the results of these and many others.
Yeah, in the next part.
All right, yeah. All right, so guys, don't go anywhere unless you want to, because I wouldn't blame you after that terrible news breaking. But up next, we're going to have some hot picks for you guys. Or NHL hot takes, sorry. All right, now for NHL Newfie of the Week. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for the new listeners, NHL Newfie of the Week is a segment hosted by a good friend, Caleb Smith, that focuses on one Newfoundlander that played in the NHL. All right, I guess now that everybody's on the same page, Caleb, how you doing?
Oh, I'm great, man. Great to be back.
Perfect. Watching any preseason?
I actually watched a bit of the Blackhawks Blues game, and man, we beat them 5-1. And what's his name? Colton Dock, Kirby Dock's little brother. He scored his first preseason goal. So yeah, the future's looking bright, man.
That's wicked, man.
He's a bust. picked him because of his last name.
Yeah.
A lot of yourself.
Same reason they traded for Jones.
Yeah.
Well, they broke up the famous Sakura brothers, so I don't know. Maybe they're not going for that.
Yeah, the city of brotherhood love, or brotherly love, or whatever that is. Anyway, Caleb, tell us, who is the NHL Newfie of the Week?
Hey, this week our Newfie is Jason Morgan from St. John's, the capital of Newfoundland, of course. St. John's obviously produces the most of our NHL players that come from the province. So he's the first one that I'm going to focus on from St. John's. He was drafted 118th overall in the 95 NHL draft by the Los Angeles Kings. Jason spent most of his career in the minors, but he did play a total of 44 games in the NHL for 5 different teams. So this guy's been around the block, and I'll try and give you a highlight of where he's been. This dude's been everywhere. In 96, 97, he finally made his LA Kings debut. He played in Kitchener in the OHL before he got drafted. He spent one more year there in the OHL before he made his debut. But finally in 97, he played for the Kings, and he played 3 games in the season. He went pointless, but then in the next season, 97, 98, he finally tallied his first goal for the Kings. So I had a boy, Jason Morgan.
Let's go, Jason.
But from all the way from 97 to 98 until 03, 04, he spent his time in the minors, bouncing back between the ECHL, IHL, and AHL. So I'm not going to go into all the teams he played for because we'll be here for 10 years, but I'll just brief out the leagues that he played in. But yeah, after being in minors forever, in 03, 04, he played for the Calgary Flames. He played 13 games and he got 2 assists. So yeah, he got his first assist with the Flames.
Wow.
Then also later on that season, he got traded to the Predators, and he played 6 games and got another 2 assists with the Predators. Then finally, this is kind of the reason why I picked the Newf of the Week, Jason Morgan. In 05-06, he played for the Chicago Blackhawks. He played 7 games, and he scored 1 goal and 1 assist.
Wow.
So he's in the record books for Chicago. So
yeah,
you got to place him in my heart.
yeah.
Point tally's going up quick.
So this guy was a pure playmaker if he was coming in and getting 2 assists. I mean, he doesn't even get any goals. This guy just gives apples all day.
Yeah. He would end his NHL career the following season in Minnesota. So you might like him too, Steven.
Yeah, I guess. I'd never heard of this
Oh my
guy.
God, James, come to Detroit.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Jason, man. Jason, don't disrespect
Jason,
like
come
that.
to Detroit, buddy.
I guess, well, I wouldn't recognize him in Minnesota because Minnesota's kind of the kings of bringing in guys for 5 games and them get 1 point and they'll never play in the NHL again. So
It's funny you say that because he played 4 games for Minnesota in 06, 07, and he went pointless.
exactly. That's what Minnesota does, man. They're like, oh, somebody's injured. We got a top 10 draft pick. Now we're going to leave him in the minors. Just bring up some guy who's been in the ECHL for 10 years. He'll play a couple games and send him on his way. So that's what they're like.
State of hockey.
Yeah, state of hockey. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Everybody gets a chance in Minnesota. Sorry, Hale, what were you saying?
Yeah. The year after he was in Minnesota, after he finally left the NHL for good, he spent 1 more season in the AHL with the Houston Aeros. Then he went over to Europe and he played in the Swedish League. He played 1 season. Then he, I'm just gonna give a brief example here of where he's been. He played 1 season in the Swedish League. Then he came back and played a season in the AHL. Then he went and played a season in the Austrian League. Then he went and played a season in the Norwegian League.
Wow.
And then at the end of his career, he spent 3 seasons in the ECHL and the CHL. That's obviously not the Canadian Hockey League. That was the defunct Central Hockey League, just another semi-pro senior league.
Yeah.
And he was actually the captain of the Stockton Thunder in his final year in the ECHL.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's an interesting career.
Yeah, it is.
And it's actually cool. In his final 2 years of pro hockey in the Central Hockey League, he played 66 games and got 46 points in his second last season. And his last season of pro hockey, he played 55 games and scored 39 points.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
No.
How old was he at this point?
I'm not sure how old he was, but I'd say he was up there because he's been playing forever, right?
I mean, for a guy to get drafted in 95, I mean, and play that long, I mean, that's it must be just a great career anyways to be able to travel across Europe and stuff and play, man. That's interesting. That's more interesting than playing in the NHL as far as I'm concerned.
You get all that experience. You get to take in all the scenery too. I mean, you played in Norway and Austria. Like, that's awesome.
That's sick. Yeah. Caleb, do you know if he was successful in Europe? Do you know if he scored many points there, or if he just bounced around?
I should have took note of that. I wish you would. I knew you were going to ask that. Sorry, I can't answer, but I say
he's the same as folks at home. Stay tuned for the Instagram post. We'll get these important stats out there.
He probably had the same point totals as he did in the minors, kind of.
Yeah,
they might lit up the Norwegian league though. Doesn't take much to light up a Norwegian league, I don't think.
He went over there and he was the next Matt Zuccarello.
Yeah. Matt Zuccarello was watching his games as a kid, man. Like, this dude's on.
He was the Newfoundland Matt Zuccarello.
Watching New. I bet Matt Zuccarello looks up to Jason Morgan for tearing up Norwegian league that 1 season.
Yeah.
But Hale, that's interesting because you only hear about Terry Ryan going in the 95 draft as the Newfoundlander. You don't hear about Jason Morgan at all.
Yeah, man.
So that's kind of cool that you brought that up, because as soon as I heard 95, I even had to Google it because I was pretty sure that's the year Ryan was drafted.
Yeah, I didn't realize that too. That they both went the same year.
They must have debuted the same year too, because I'm pretty sure Ryan got his shot in 97 as well.
Okay, sweet. With the Habs, obviously.
Yeah.
Where did he play juniors? Was it in
Kitchener Rangers in the OHL?
Kitchener Rangers. Oh yeah. So he must have just moved. He must have moved out from Newfoundland when he was like 13 or 14, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe in midgets. Like, instead of playing AAA, he just went and played junior in the.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. A lot of people from here usually do that, leaving their grade 10 year and go over.
Yeah, man.
That's insane.
But I was gonna say, that doesn't stop there for Jason Morgan. He's actually still on the go. He's got a pretty good coaching career. He's coached in, I'm just going to list the countries that he's coached in: Hungary, Poland, Denmark, Romania, and he currently coaches in the DEL second league. So that's the second best professional league in Germany, and he's currently coaching there. So he's still on the go.
Holy shit.
I mean, this guy might make it back to the NHL as like an assistant coach or an associate coach. Yet, man, you don't know.
He could, yeah.
I mean, if he's gathering experience like that, a guy who's been around the block, he's played in all the different leagues. Man, this guy's checked into a lot of two-star hotels. You wouldn't believe it. I mean, this guy's the king of two-star hotels, man. He's bound to make his way up to the NHL eventually. He just doesn't stop, man. Playing career.
Yeah, if you think this guy's hockey DB is impressive, you should see his Yelp account.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this guy's like a fucking admin on TripAdvisor or something. This dude's been everywhere.
Yeah, that's this is by far the most interesting news for the week so far, because usually we haven't had one yet that's been out of North America. So it's good to hear of one that went international.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
And also he played on Chicago, so fucking right, Chicago.
Yeah, in Minnesota, man. I'm gonna have to go on Google and type up a fucking picture of this guy in a Minnesota jersey. Maybe change my desktop background to it or something.
He played 4 games there, man. So if they took a picture of him during those 4 games, then you're in luck.
Well, I hope so. Well, I wouldn't. He was probably on the bench for most of it, anyways. So unless I get a picture of the bench.
Oh man,
I'm a dick. I mean, this guy's way better hockey player than me, so I shouldn't be saying anything. Yeah, man, that was cool. Thanks for the information on Jason. I'm definitely going to look him up because I usually end up looking up these guys on Elite Prospects after we end the podcast. So thanks for that information, buddy.
No problem. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, man.
As always, Caleb, thanks for bringing the news for the week, and we'll catch you next week.
Until next time, boys.
All right, bud. Stay safe. See ya. Okay, folks, this podcast is about to get very interesting. Steve and I are going to give you guys some season hot takes. So after watching preseason, we're going to fire off a couple things we think might go down this season that maybe not everybody agrees with. So without further ado, Steve, buddy, what's your first hot take for the season?
Number 5 on my list, I have Zach Hyman scoring 80-plus points with the Oilers, and on along with McJesus this year. Yeah, this guy's playing with McDavid. All he has to do is just be in the right spot, and he's going to get in the right spot. He's going to put a stick on the ice, and he's going to tap it up. He's going to go next shift. He's going to get on the ice. He's going to go in the right spot. He's going to get in front of net, stick on the ice, tapping it up. I mean, he's got an easy job now. I mean, he got paid now. He just got to be in the right spot. McDavid's going to sauce it to him, and he just got to finish.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could hurt that prediction is if he doesn't get first line on the power play. I think Pujärvi and Yamamoto are pretty big studs this year.
Yeah, but
for that,
Hyman's playing first line with McDavid. That's the reason they signed him. So, I think if people are predicting McDavid to get 140 points, 150 points this year. So if he's on, that's only a portion of McDavid's points right there if he gets 80-something points. So I think he can do it, and that's my hot take. I don't know if many people think that, but
I, for one, think he's more of a 60-point guy.
Yeah, but that's why it's a hot take. That's why it's a hot take.
That's a spicy take. All right, I can dig it. If he gets 80, man, if he goes point per game, that would be insane.
I think he can, man. It's McDavid. It's literally the best player in the world. And he compliments him so well. Have you seen some of their preseason games together?
I have, yeah. Just saw some passes through like the middle of the ice, just backdoor tap-ins.
Yeah, easy stuff for Hyman. I mean, I think he's gonna excel playing with McDavid.
Yeah. It's a good one.
What's your take?
So my fifth hot take is I think Ovi chases Gretzky's record this year, and I think he scores 60.
Oh my God, that's
I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in the league this year, and I think that Ovi has been like training all off season like he's never trained before. I think the kid puts up, or not the kid, but the man. The man puts up 60.
Is that old enough to be your dad or something?
I think Matthews doesn't win the Rocket this year as a subsequent of this too. I think Ovi chases his last Rocket.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair. I think he definitely got another rocket in him because you can't count him out any year. So 60, that's why it's called a hot take.
Yeah, which is I don't think 50 is out of the question ever for Ovi.
No. I mean, he could get 50 in a year.
So it's just 10. It's just 10 over that. And I think I don't know. There was crazy scoring last year, and it might have just because of the divisions, how they were
Yeah.
so I don't know, different. But I think this year there's going to be a lot of scoring, and I think he scores 60.
Yeah. I could see that happening, man.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
a
see.
nice pick.
Yeah, what's your fourth, buddy?
Fourth, I have San Jose selling off core pieces like Logan Couture, Thomas Hurdle, Timo Meyer, Eric Carlson, and Brent Burns. I think they
God
soon got
damn.
to realize that they're not going to make a run with these guys. I mean, it's just not happening. They're not even making the playoffs every year, so you're not going to make a run. I think Doug Wilson has to just realize it, and I think his job's on the line eventually because he hasn't really done many good things for him in the last few years. So I could see San Jose moving on, man. Selling some guys. Eric Carlson. I mean, that's a hard contract to move.
Yeah, it is.
11. I'll tell you right now. I got down their contracts. Couture makes $8 million for 6 years. I think he's an easier player to move.
Yeah.
He's a very consistent two-way player. Brent Burns makes $8 million for 4 years. I think that's a movable contract too. I can see a team taking that. Hurdle makes $5.6 million for 1 year. I think he's moved at the deadline, honestly. It's 1 year deals. A team who wants to make a run with a bit of room might be in on that. So
I think they were talking extensions, and I think that Hurdle even said that he'd take less money to stay in San Jose if they could prove to him that they're going to be more competitive.
Yeah, we'll see. This is what I got him. I got him going off to a bad start on the year. That's what I'm predicting. So that's why they sell everything out.
I wouldn't put it past San Jose to start off the year shitty.
Yeah, and I got Carlson's at 11.5 mil for 6 more years.
Oh man, that's rough.
So, I mean, they would be retaining salary on that deal, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And Meyer for 6 mil for 2 years. So
that's not a bad contract.
No, and I could see
if anything, I think they try to move on from Carlson, and I think they try to move on from Couture. I can't see him moving on from even Burns too. I can see him moving on from there, but Timo Meyer and Thomas Hurdle, I think they keep.
Yeah, I think they just got to get to a point and realize we're not going anywhere. We're just staying where we are. Like you got to either rebuild or like start signing guys. So you got to make a move eventually. So that's why I chose that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty possible because if they get off to a really bad start, I mean they can
like 4-12 or something like that. Like a shitty
4-12, rip it down.
Yeah.
I was even thinking like in October if they go 8-8 in October.
Yeah.
If they're not like over 500 by a decent margin by the first half of November, I think they're going to start.
You know what would surprise me though? They're in the Pacific, and that's a little bit of a weaker division. So they could have one of those years where Eric Carlson regains his all-star form and Couture plays a great year. So they could even make the playoffs. But this is just
they could have a sneaky year. You're right.
So that's just
especially with Seattle because nobody really knows what they expect of Seattle in the regular season.
Yeah, I got
if Seattle's dog shit. Then
we'll just have to wait and see. That's the fun thing about this.
For sure. My fourth hot take, buddy, is the Montreal Canadiens surprised everyone and finished fourth in the Atlantic Division. And I think they'll lose in the first round to a team in Florida, either Tampa Bay or the Panthers.
I could see that happening.
I think their forward core improved somehow over the offseason. Even with losing Jesus Christ. Even with losing KK, I think they still improve somehow. Christian Dvorak's looking great.
Mike
Hoffman. Mike Hoffman. I think they brought in some pieces that KK wasn't bringing, and they're more confident in the players that they have now because it's like the management wasn't confident in KK because he was starting the AHL and he was benched sometimes or even healthy scratched in the playoffs. So.
Yeah, well, they got experience now, so I mean, they're going to rely on that. I think they're got a good team, but I don't think they have a cup-winning team.
No, I don't. That's why I said they're gonna surprise everyone, but they're gonna lose in first round because Shea Weber's not there, so that team is gonna look really different without their captain.
Mm-hmm. Price is gone for the start of the season too.
Yeah, But
They
so we'll
picked up
see.
Samuel Montembeau on waivers today. Actually, I didn't include that in my news. But,
Nice.
yeah, third string in Florida. So
Yeah,
who cares?
exactly.
Let's
I like
move
that.
on.
That's kind. What's your third hot take, Steve?
I got Carter Hart not bouncing back. I think he's gonna have another bad year.
No
I'll
way.
I'll tell you why now. I got a couple stats from his NHL career. I'm going to talk about. In 18/19, he played 31 games. He had 16 wins, 13 losses, 1 overtime loss, 9/17. So there's nothing wrong with that. He goes into 19/20. He plays 43
Can you say that
games.
last stat again?
2.83 goals against average.
Okay. When was this? In his rookie year in 18-19?
Rookie year, yeah.
All right.
He had 9/17 save percentage, and that's the year when Philadelphia was really looking for a goalie. They had like 11 different goaltenders play for them.
Yeah.
That was that weird year where they just couldn't figure it out, and he stepped in and ended up being all right. So, in 19/20, he played 43 games. I just dropped the fucking pen. He played 43 games. He had 24 wins, 13 losses, 3 overtime losses. He had a 9/14 save percentage and a 2.42 goals against average. So decent year again for him with 24 wins. And last year he played 27 games. He had 9 wins, 11 losses, 5 overtime losses, 877 save percentage.
Jesus.
Gross. And a 3.67 goals against average, almost 4 goals a game. He was a second round pick in 2016, 48th overall, and he's 23 years old. And I have him not bouncing back. The reason I chose him not bounce back is I think I find it weird why I chose him because Philadelphia added some good pieces like Ristolainen and Ellis on their blue line, but I don't know. I just don't see Philadelphia making it in the Metro. I chose other teams. I think New Jersey's on the rise. I think New York's on the rise. I feel like they just change it up to change it up. I don't think they really improve very much every year, and I don't know. But at the same time, I think I'd like to see Kevin Hayes have a really good year. So I'm a bit, I don't know how I feel about that, but I think was thrown into the fire. He's 23 years old and he's expected to have a great year every year. Yeah. I mean, his rookie year, he was like 20 years old in the NHL. So
I know it's so rare for a goalie to come in and play that young in the NHL.
I think they need to find a solid backup. I know they brought in Martin Jones from San Jose, but I mean, Martin Jones has been garbage for the last like 4 years. So
yeah, he's been brutal in San Jose. Hopefully, he picks it up in Philadelphia.
I think they should look for a better goaltender for a tandem. Maybe like somebody like Peter Mrazek who went to the Leafs. I mean, if you had Hart and Mrazek, it would have took a lot of pressure off him. I think he's got too much pressure, so I think that's why he's going to fail. And I don't like to say that because that's kind of mean, but yeah, that's my hypothesis.
I think he might be a goalie like Price, like a watered down Price. I feel like he needs a lot of games. I don't think he's one to want to split it. I think this guy's a star.
Back this year is what I'm saying. So what's your take?
Yeah, we'll see. My third take is Tim Stützle will score 70 points this year in Ottawa. I'm saying despite these high point totals, I think Ottawa still misses the playoffs though. What do you think? Do you think he can score 70 this year?
I think he can. I don't think he does this year, in my opinion.
His sophomore season, you don't think he gets 70?
I think especially if Brady Tkachuk doesn't sign, I just think it's going to be one of those difficult years to find the back of the net. He's got all the talent. I think he could win a trophy one day. I think to win a Hart, man. I mean, he's that good. He's so quick with his skates, and he's got a great shot, and he maneuvers on the ice really well. It's like he's going this way, and then he swings around the other way. He's really quick on his feet. So
he's agile, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's due for a 70-point season. I don't know if he will be at 19 years old or 20, but I think you could definitely prove me wrong because
I think they're going to have I think every year now Ottawa's getting better and better and better. I think they got a fast team, and I think they got a
lot of good prospects.
Yeah, their power play is looking great now because they got Tkachuk, Stützle, Shabbat, and they got Batherson, and I don't know if that Norris kid is going to come in and do good this year and push
Well, he
for
played
one of
last
those.
year for a nice bit.
Yeah, so I don't know if he pushes that first power point. Geez, I can't talk, man. Power play unit, but if he does, that would be. They'd have a nice little group there, but
they got a good young core, I think.
Yeah, I think Timmy. I think
they got a
Tim.
good coach too, and DJ Smith.
Yeah,
I think he's a good coach.
He's a newer coach there, so maybe either he might shake that up in a good way, or he might just not know the players as well, and they might not do so hot. But
yeah,
either way, yeah, I think Tim Stützle's a sick player. I think he like at some point he's got to score 70. I just think it's this year. I think he goes on to have. I think he's the best player to come out of that draft. I know Lafreniere or Lafreniere and Byfield, but I don't know. I thought Stützle was going first or second overall.
I just had to contradict you to make it interesting. That's all. So
no worries, buddy. What's your second biggest hot take, or not biggest, but just the number two?
My second hot take. Kirill Kaprizov scores 100 points. I mean, this is money. It shouldn't even be a hot take. This guy's due for 100 easy.
Should be ice cold take.
Should be ice cold take. This guy can score 100 with his eyes closed. I wouldn't be surprised if he scored 40 goals and 60 assists, and he gets 100 points easy, and he gets a C next year, and they could just bring up a minor league team and play with him, and he's still get 100 points. He's that good. This guy's fucking unreal. He's 24 years old, and he was a 5th round pick in 2015. He was 135th overall. That's like one of the best draft picks since Zetterberg.
Oh, chill out now, buddy. He's only played 1 year.
he's like, only... no, man. This dude is real.
He's better than Zetterberg, man. He's played 1 year.
One of the best. That's one of the best picks since Zetterberg. I'm saying since. Like Pavelski, he was a 7th round pick. Jamie Benn. Then you got Kaprizov, and I think Kaprizov is better than all those guys except Zetterberg. You got to wait and see.
That's right.
He played in the KHL for a while. The year before he came to the NHL, he played 57 games in the KHL, and he had 62 points. But the KHL is a lower scoring league, so they don't score as many goals as NHL. So for him to be over a point per game is pretty impressive.
It's bigger ice too, isn't it? It's international ice.
Yeah, they don't score as many points in the KHL. So
they more focus on like puck possession and stuff. Like they make like 1,000 passes before they even shoot on net.
Yeah, and his first NHL season, he played 55 games. He had 27 goals, 24 assists, 51 points. 4 points off being point a game. So he was really close, and I think he's a point a game this year, and I think he's a 100-point guy. I mean, it's easy for this guy. He's just too good, and he doesn't get injured. This guy, throughout his career, I looked at his stats. He's rarely injured, and if he's injured, it's like 1 or 2 games. Yeah. So I think he's very consistent, and I think that's going to help him get 100 points. So that's my hot take. This one's a bit warm, but
I hope so. I'd love to see that because Minnesota's such a great place for hockey. I hope they get a superstar, but I can't see him. Maybe I didn't watch enough of his games. I only see his highlights. So right now, I don't think he scores 100.
He's 88 overall in the new NHL game. So
they're biased, man. They'll do anything for someone to buy their games. That's them going after Minnesota fans.
Yeah, well, they got me. It works.
Yeah, that's good marketing, buddy.
Yeah. What's your take?
So at number 2, I have Alexander Barkov scoring 75 points this year. He'll win his 2nd Selke trophy. But in doing this, I think Bergeron scores more. I think Bergeron scores 80, but doesn't win the Selke. And I think that's the closest Bergeron ever gets to another Selke. I think he'll finish 2nd this year. So kind of a little parlay.
So you think Bergeron's going to fall off the rails?
No, I think he just doesn't go for Selkies as much as he did because you got to be able to combine offensive production with defensive play. And I think Barkov does that a lot better now than Bergeron. I think they kind of switched.
Yeah.
So I think Barkov gets his 2nd Selke and 75 points. And I think Bergeron finishes 2nd in Selke nominations and gets 80 points. because he's just playing with Paston Marchand.
I could see that, man. Easy.
Yeah.
Barkov is a really he's like a when you think of a great center, you think of a guy like Barkov. Puts up points, does it all, two-way center.
Great leader.
Yeah. I could see him winning 2 Selkies. I wouldn't even consider that high. I'd say it's one of your colder takes.
Yeah, it is. It's probably my coldest take, but I
Yeah.
just had that one in there because it's kind of a little parlay because I'm hedging.
Because you're roasting
him.
Bergeron.
Yeah, that's why it's hot because I'm flaming Bergeron right now.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing that makes this hot.
Yeah, I think that's interesting take, man.
I think I was pretty conservative on his points too. I think Barkov might score more than 75
He
points.
could score 90 points, man.
Yeah, he could. He's that kind of player. Playing with Huberdeau too. Huberdeau's unreal. Didn't he kind of come out of nowhere? He was drafted in 2011. Huberdeau was, and nobody really paid attention.
Took a little while.
Nobody paid attention to him until like 2017, and then he just turned it on.
Yeah, he was a high pick, but it took a little while to get going. And when he got going, and people started paying when the Florida team got better, that's when
that's right.
Him. So yeah,
fair enough.
He's a great player.
What's your top hot take, buddy?
Well,
I can see just by the grin and what hat you're wearing, buddy. I can tell what you're about to say right now.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Say it.
I don't know if I want to. I think I should stop it before.
No, you got to say your fifth or your first now.
I can't. I'm laughing that much in my soul. I think they're trying to make Leafs win the cup.
Fucking knew it. I knew it. Just by the way you're smiling, the hat you're wearing.
I can't even say it. I think they're trying to make Leafs win the cup.
That is a hot take, buddy.
That's like house on fire, call the fire department type of take. I think this is the year.
Oh my god, if I've ever heard that. My dad's a Leafs fan. I think I've heard that for the last 13 years, man.
This is the year. The Amazon Prime documentary, All or Not. Hello.
Yeah, I think it's. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or your Wi-Fi, but I think one of ours is.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties here, so
yeah.
Bear with us. I guess after I said Toronto Maple Leafs should win a cup, I don't much blame them, but I'll leave you with the quote on this. Some of the greatest victories come after some of the greatest defeats.
I can get on board with that. You got to lose. You got to learn how to lose, learn how to win.
Enough said, man. I know I'm making a bad name for myself here tonight.
No, man.
My top two takes were Kaprizov scoring 100 points and the Maple Leafs winning the cup.
Yeah, but remember, folks at home, this is an unbiased podcast, so none of this has to do with our team affiliations or our favorite players.
Man, I just think they got the fucking group, man. They got that group there, man. How did they not win? I don't know. I just have a feeling, man. This is the year. This is the year for the Leafs. I know it's been said for 55 years, but this is the year for the Leafs.
I hope so, man. It's about time it comes back to Canada.
I got a feeling, man. I don't know. I don't even know what to say because I know everybody's laughing who's listening to this, but
except for Toronto fans. Toronto fans are on board. They're punching holes through the wall saying, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, Steve. It is the year. You're right, man.
I'm trying to think of why, other than the fact that I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. But
what did they bring in that makes you think that they're going over the top? Is it because they got rid of their starting goalie?
I don't think it's that. I think it's that they just
Is
lost.
it because they never brought in any pieces for their blue line?
I think it's that they lost. I think their blue line's great. I think Jake Muzzin, TJ Brody, Justin Hall, fucking Morgan Riley, Rasmus Sandin, Timothy Liljegren, Alex Biega.
I think they need to bring back Zach Bogosian and Jake Gardner, and then I think they can win a championship.
Fuck Jake Gardner. He should rot.
The best clutch player of Leafs history.
God, don't get me started on him. But
Another podcast.
Yeah, to finish this statement off, mark my fucking words. The Toronto Maple Leafs win the cup. We'll look back at this when the season's over. How much money you want to put down on this? Case
I
of
want to
beer?
put 3 beer. I'll put a case of beer. I will put a case of beer. All right.
All right. I'd
I
like
can
to hear
take that.
And if
All right,
they don't win the
folks.
cup, I'll give you a case of beer.
All right. And if they do, I'll give you a case of beer.
I'm probably going to lose a case of beer.
I think I'm going to drink a nice case of beer after this hockey
Yeah,
season.
all right. What's your last take? Enough of that one.
My last take, and this is my hottest, but I don't think it's going to top yours.
No, definitely not. Nothing in history can.
Yeah, with Jacob Vrana out for 4 months, I think Lucas Raymond plays on the top wings line with Larkin, and I think he puts up 40 to 50 points in his rookie season.
I think that's reasonable. I think
Yeah?
that's very reasonable. Yeah.
The only thing that's hot about that is I don't think
Gets
Yzerman really plays his rookies that much, so I don't think he's going to get the reps on the top line. But if he gets on that top line, I think he puts up 40 to 50 for sure.
Yeah.
And I'll put a case of beer on that. If he plays more than half the season on the top line, he puts up 40 to 50 points. For sure.
All right, man. I think that's a pretty good take, actually.
All right.
But I don't know if he does this year, so that's why it's hot. I don't. He might be sitting the AHL, man. So
yeah,
you don't know. So
exactly. He hasn't guaranteed himself on a roster yet, but he's made a good case for himself.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that was some interesting takes. My last take was definitely the hottest. I don't know how I feel about it now. I had it wrote down. I didn't know if I was actually going to say it, but I felt like I had to.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We'll see when the year all folds out and we get to the playoffs, and we'll see what happens then. But I'm putting my money on the Leafs.
You're putting your case of beer on the Leafs.
I'm not the first man to say that.
No, I wouldn't say. Anyway, folks, there's 10 hot takes from the Hockey Tank podcast with Stephen Hale and myself, Trevor Blackler. We want to again thank you for tuning in to the Hockey Tank podcast. We appreciate your patronage, and we hope to see you again next week. Take care, folks. Stay safe.
See you later.